Today our topic is how to build better relationships using Stoic principles. Life is full of relationships, and they can bring us joy, but also challenges. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches us how to handle these challenges in a calm and wise way. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It is about understanding what we can control and what we cannot. This idea can help us build better relationships with others. Let me explain how. First, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control. In relationships, we cannot control how others think, feel, or act. We can only control our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. For example, if someone is rude to us, we cannot control their behavior, but we can control how we respond. Instead of getting angry or upset, we can choose to stay calm and think about why they might be acting that way. Maybe they are having a bad day or dealing with their own problems. By focusing on our response, we can avoid unnecessary conflict and maintain a positive relationship. Second, Stoicism teaches us to practice empathy. Empathy means putting ourselves in someone else's shoes and trying to understand their feelings and perspectives. When we practice empathy, we become better listeners and more compassionate friends, partners, or family members. For example, if a friend is upset, instead of immediately giving advice, we can first listen and try to understand their feelings. This shows that we care and value their emotions. Stoics believe that everyone is doing the best they can, with the knowledge and experiences they have. By remembering this, we can be more patient and kind with others. Third, Stoicism teaches us to accept imperfection. No one is perfect, including ourselves. In relationships, we often expect others to behave in a certain way or meet our expectations. But when they fail, we feel disappointed or frustrated. Stoicism reminds us that everyone makes mistakes, and that is okay. Instead of focusing on their flaws, we can focus on their positive qualities and appreciate them for who they are. For example, if a partner forgets an important date, instead of getting angry, we can remind ourselves of all the times they've been loving and supportive. By accepting imperfection, we can reduce unnecessary stress and enjoy our relationships more. Fourth, Stoicism teaches us to practice gratitude. Gratitude means being thankful for what we have. In relationships, it is easy to take people for granted, especially those who are always there for us. Stoicism encourages us to appreciate the people in our lives and express our gratitude to them. For example, we can thank a friend for their support or tell a family member how much they mean to us. Gratitude strengthens relationships by making others feel valued and loved. It also helps us focus on the good things in life rather than the negative. Fifth, Stoicism teaches us to manage our expectations. Sometimes we expect too much from others, and when they fail to meet our expectations, we feel let down. Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control others, and it is unfair to expect them to always act the way we want. Instead, we should focus on what we can do to improve the relationship. For example, if we want more quality time with a partner, we can communicate our needs clearly and suggest activities we can do together. By managing our expectations, we can avoid disappointment and build healthier relationships. Sixth, Stoicism teaches us to practice self-control. Self-control means managing our emotions and impulses. In relationships, there will be times when we feel angry, jealous, or hurt. Stoicism teaches us to pause and think before reacting. For example, if we feel jealous of a friend's success, instead of making negative comments, we can congratulate them and work on improving ourselves. Self-control helps us avoid saying or doing things we might regret later. It also shows others that we are mature and respectful. Seventh, Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present moment. Sometimes, we worry too much about the future or dwell on the past, which can harm our relationships. For example, we might worry about whether a relationship will last or feel upset about past conflicts. Stoicism reminds us that the only moment we have is the present. By focusing on the present, we can fully enjoy our time with others and create meaningful connections. For example, instead of worrying about a future argument, we can focus on having a good conversation or sharing a fun activity. 8th, Stoicism teaches us to be honest and authentic. In relationships, it is important to be true to ourselves and others. Pretending to be someone we are not or hiding our true feelings can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Stoicism encourages us to be honest about our thoughts and feelings, but in a kind and respectful way. For example, if we disagree with someone, we can express our opinion without being rude or aggressive. Honesty builds trust and strengthens relationships. 9th, Stoicism teaches us to forgive. Holding on to anger or resentment can damage relationships. Stoicism reminds us that everyone makes mistakes, and forgiveness is a way to let go of negative emotions and move forward. For example, if a friend hurts us, instead of holding a grudge, we can talk to them about how we feel and try to forgive them. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior, but it allows us to release the pain and focus on healing the relationship. 10th, Stoicism teaches us to be patient. Building strong relationships takes time and effort. We cannot expect everything to be perfect right away. Stoicism encourages us to be patient with others and with ourselves. For example, if a relationship is going through a rough patch, instead of giving up, we can work on improving communication and understanding. Patience helps us stay committed and gives relationships a chance to grow. In conclusion, Stoic principles can help us build better relationships by teaching us to focus on what we can control, practice empathy, accept imperfection, show gratitude, manage expectations, exercise self-control, live in the present, be honest, forgive, and be patient. Relationships are an important part of life, and by applying these principles, we can create deeper connections and handle challenges in a calm and wise way. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect, but to be mindful and intentional in how we interact with others. Life is short, and our relationships are precious. Let us make the most of them by practicing Stoic wisdom.